defensive structure in possession is pretty reckless, and we are going to concede goals as a result of our very reckless, quote-unquote, rest defense this season, next season, the season after. That's always going to be there. I don't think that Andrew's interested in changing that. And I think essentially the argument is that is the risk that we take, and the payoff is worth it. Is that what it offers in attack is worth what it's undermining us in defence. When we're a better functioning team in attack, we will have less to worry about in defence because the opposition won't even get the ball off us,
And the counter-pressing will improve too, so we'll be able to quickly win the ball back sometimes.
I don't think the counter-pressing will improve much more than it currently is, based on, because I think that we already have the optimal personnel for that, essentially. We just commit a lot of players ahead of the ball, and that's risky. It has its rewards, and yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, do you want to call that a weakness? I think there's an argument to be made that it's weakness, but it's also just a stylism that is innate to the football that we're going to play, and there exists no football without some level of weakness, right? So yes, when you look at this goal, you can say, oh, this is a rest defense issue, and you can say, look at the Wolves one, same for that. Look at the Fulham one, same for that. It's just a facet of how we play. And yes, it's a tactical weakness, but the idea is that you say, okay, you've identified this weakness. Good luck dealing with the game as a package. And that is how, in the long term, we will look to develop, rather than being like, oh, okay, let's keep Sarr deeper behind the ball when we attack. It's just not going to change.
So the solution then is to improve on the players, or improve the players who are involved in defending those situations, and hope for the best, basically.
No, the solution is
score every time you go forward.
Score every time we go forward. So Kulusevski plays the cutback and it goes behind Sarr, and that's how we lose the ball. Just don't lose the ball ever. Just always go. And obviously, I'm being facetious there, because that's kind of absurd to expect perfection. The idea is that we win these games 5-1 instead of 2-1.
How do you feel about that, Bardi? Does that make you feel any better, or are you still concerned?
It makes me feel a little bit better, but I'm still concerned that we, against more organised teams, we struggle.
Hopefully in a year or 2 years' time, we're on the edge of glory, right? But we can't quite clinch the title. We can't quite win the semi-finals and finals, because the best teams in the world that we're coming up against in these scenarios are able to counterattack down our wings. And at that point, I will say, hey, maybe if we want to take the final step, we need to find a way to make an adjustment to say we need to create a 3 when we attack in the final third. We need either a midfielder to go wide or to drop in, or we keep one fullback. Probably not that. Probably Sarr comes deeper in the play, something like that, to better defend against transitions. Maybe that will be the final step for us. But I think for the foreseeable future, we're just going to be a team who can be got at in transition, and it's worth it because we score 3 goals down the other end. And at least for the time being, I'm okay with that. In my opinion, the focus should be reliably getting those 3 goals down the other end.
Yeah. Hey, look, I watched Brentford Villa the weekend, and Villa do keep those players back, and they still conceded 3 goals to Brentford. So it could be worse, right?
Yeah. And of course, both games, West Ham Forest, big opportunities and goals coming from set pieces. So let's defend our set pieces better, and then open play will be considerably less concerning.